Hello, I'm Andrea from the Creative Dream Incubator. This is day 15 of 30 days of creative journals. And today is the first day I don't have a journal to share with you. I want to talk about resistance to journaling, which is also resistance to creative practice, resistance to spiritual practice, resistance to staying in the process, resistance to doing your inner work. Having resistance and dealing with resistance are actually a really big part of the process. I feel like, I want to believe that we get to a stage where we do it and we always love it and we're always happy to stay in our practice. And I sure haven't gotten there myself, and I don't know of anyone who has. It just feels like resistance is such a normal, natural part. The cool thing about resistance is that there's always something really beautiful in it. When you start to resist your practice, it's usually because you're coming at a point of growth, or you're coming at a point of realizing something new, or you're coming at some kind of shift. And there's a part of you that's afraid. And we all have parts of us that want to maintain the status quo and that are afraid of change and growth. And those fears are valid, absolutely, completely. But that doesn't mean that we have to let them drive the bus, right? You can choose to grow and evolve and to create something new, even though it's scary. What happens is that those fears often, and it's really interesting to me that the fears don't always come up as fear, they come up as resistance. Sometimes that resistance can come up as really logical, reasonable things. So it's like you're driving the bus and you're driving on your way to Creative Dreamland, and you've got someone on the bus who's trying to drive you to stalemate land, whatever, stagnancy city. And this person doesn't come on the bus, wearing a balaclava and holding a gun and pushing you out of the driver's seat and going in, right? Because then you would know that something is wrong. This person is on the bus happily cheering you on and saying, "Oh, sweetie, hey, you must be tired from all that driving. Why don't you go take a rest and let me drive for a while?" Right? And then they kind of really casually take over and then start steering you towards stagnancy city. And then before you know it, you're in the stagnation, you're in the resistance, and you're not even really sure how you got there because you thought we were driving towards, in this other direction. So resistance shows up as really reasonable reasons to stop or to slow down. So today I actually wasn't going to make a video for my 30-day challenge to myself. I was going to write instead about how I was finding it challenging, that I hadn't realized how much time it would take to be doing these videos, and that I don't actually have the time right now. I was going to talk about how I'm having a hard time. It's like I've added this big task to every day, and I'm having a hard time keeping up. And I need to keep on top of things in my business, so other things are sliding, such as the dishes and the laundry and that kind of thing. And that I just need more time to myself. And so my plan was I was going to finish the 30 days, but do it slower. And in all honesty, I might do that at some point. I'm not going to force myself to do this if it's really not working. But the more I thought about what I would say to you about why I was going to slow down, the more I realized it was just a bunch of bullshit excuses. Right? When I say I'm behind in my dishes, I don't even have that many dishes. I simplified my life very, very much when I moved into this loft. It couldn't possibly take me more than 15 minutes to catch up on my dishes. So I'm not sure how that's an excuse. And laundry, I have laundry upstairs in the bathroom. I don't have to go anywhere to do laundry. It doesn't take any time to do that. So it's I'm making up these reasons and then believing them about why I need to stop doing something. And then, so when I sat with that and I used my only, I guess I was going to say my favorite, but it's really, I think, my only tool for dissolving resistance is honesty. So when I look honestly at what's going on, and when I look honestly at what I want, I'm just feeling a little scared, a little unsure, a little like, it's scary to put yourself out there every day and to share honestly what you're doing in your private journals, right? And obviously I'm not sharing every single detail of every single thing, but I'm sharing a lot, and that's scary. And these parts of me just want to like slow down. So by using honesty, we get out of the story that the resistance is making up about how I don't have enough time. And then we get into the truth about how it's scary. When you're in the truth, then you can find solutions. Because if I were to stay in that story about how I don't have enough time, I can't find a solution because it's not a genuine problem. So I would stay kind of in this cycle, and it would, the resistance would be succeeding in its main mission, which is to pull me off track. But if I meet it with as much honesty as I can, and instead we talk about how vulnerability is terrifying, then I can do something with that because it's real. It has a totally different feeling to it. I could even journal about it if I wasn't feeling so resistant towards my journal today. But I can certainly think about journaling about it tomorrow. I can say, okay, cool, I will give myself a break from journaling today. I'm going to talk about why I'm not journaling, because I committed to this idea of sharing the honest process for 30 days, and I like the idea and I want to see it through. And because the truth is I do have enough time. And even if my dishes remain dirty, they're not hurting anyone if they stay there, or maybe I'll take 15 minutes and clean them up. But truthfully, just acknowledging that vulnerability is scary shifted all the energy for me. I feel so much better just in acknowledging the truth of how I'm feeling deep down inside. Because when I acknowledge that, I also acknowledge all the other things that I'm feeling. Like about how I'm getting all these amazing messages from people who are watching this series, and how it's helping them, especially people who have been taking classes with me for the past couple of years, or people who have been doing coaching with me for the past couple of years. They're seeing new stuff in what I teach by seeing how I use my own tools. That's been really cool. It's been really helpful. I love the inspiration and flow that is coming out of this project. I love that it's actually forcing me to look at what I'm doing and explain it. I'm getting so much more clarity about my own process by sharing it with you. So when I'm honest about what I'm not liking about the project or what feels scary about it, then I also get to be honest about everything else that I'm feeling about the project. Because we're usually feeling like all sorts of conflicting things at once, and when we're trying to avoid feeling one thing, we end up avoiding all of the feelings, and then it's like we don't even know how we feel or what's going on, and it's our feelings that are what guides us on the path to bringing dreams to life. So it's really important to be connected to your feelings, so which means it's really important to be connected to the scary and the uncomfortable, as well as the inspiring and the happy. That's where I'm at today. I'm exploring resistance. I'm staying with it. I'm doing my best to not drown in it, but to just sort of dance with it and see where it goes. And I'll be back tomorrow.